Hello and welcome to a brand new episode of AV Tiles and Sanitary Kollam, the authorized Kajaria dealer in the city of Kollam. Today we are in the beautiful city of Thrissur, the center of Kerala and also the cultural center of Kerala. It is a great thing that today Kajaria is using this town to launch its new product called the Duratech X-Stone range. Now these X-Stone range are paving tiles with 12 mm thickness and 20 mm thickness. 12 mm thickness is a good thing, but we are focusing on the 20 mm thickness tiles, which are in future, in not so far future, is going to replace the natural stone pavings forever. Let's get into the exhibition hall and check out the newly launched products. Come with me. So here we are finally into the exhibition hall of Kajaria Duratech X-Stone. On my left you can see the tiles which are in 20 mm thickness, and on my right you can see the tiles in 12 mm thickness. So what is the need for these tiles or paving tiles at this point of time when Kajaria and other companies are already there for 20 years in this business? Well, the main motive of these materials, or the main reason why these materials are here, is because the visual sophistication of the customers has increased so much that they do not only want the tiles inside their house to be image of their personality, but they also want it to extend it into the front of their house. So people who do not enter their houses can also judge their personality by the look of the tile. Now this is maybe my own opinion, but in general the visual sophistication has increased to that level that the natural stones, which were the only options till now besides the interlocking cement tiles, has become kind of boring, and people want to have more sophisticated tiles, more tiles with more finesse in them. So Kajaria today has launched finally the 20 mm thick Duratech X-Stone 20 mm, and on my right the Duratech X-Stone in 12 mm thickness. Now further, the classification of these tiles is not only on the basis of the thickness that they have, but let's classify them or let's differentiate them on their technical difference and their aesthetic differences. So let's delve into that more. So let's start with the technical characteristics first. Today we are going to focus on this 20 mm thick tile because this is the tile that is going to replace all the available natural materials in the market in the coming future. Now the popular materials used are Kota stone, Kadapa, Shabad, and recently Bangalore stones. Now what is the problem with those tiles? The problem with the tiles is that their thickness is inconsistent, whereas in these tiles you will get a consistent thickness. The second is that in all these stones that I named, the shade varies from time to time, which means if you have selected something in the month of January and you are actually going to buy it in the month of June, you will not get the same material that you had selected in January in the month of May. So you will have to put up with whatever you have got. So that means the lack of consistency in color and the lack of consistency in thickness. Now the problem with lack of consistency in thickness is that you have to make a larger bed than that is actually necessary, because you have to compensate for the thickness variation in the tiles. Now the second most prominent or the highlight of this tile, the technical characteristic that I am going to speak about, is the glaze called R11. Now this R11 glaze is a specification which tells us that what angle we can walk on safely if this tile is put on a gradient. So let me show this with an example. What we have here is a 45-degree gradient here on the display. Now if I am going to climb it, I should feel unsafe, I should feel nervous, but let's check out how I feel. So I am taking shorter steps, I am putting all my weight on my feet, and I am actually trying to slip here, but I am not. It's catching my boots, like I am on a magnet. And let's try this again on the downwards gradient. See, again I am taking short steps, and here I am trying to slip and I am not slipping. Okay, the shoes are good, that's another matter. But then the R11 glaze surface claims that you can do a stunt which I did here even while there is oil spilled on this tile. Now this is the biggest highlight that is there technically in these tiles. No other company has brought this glaze into the market yet. One, because it is costly, and second, that it's general perception that these tiles are hard to clean. But we need not do the same kind of cleaning when we are paving something out in the open. The cleaning of those tiles, whether that is Kota stone or Kadapa stone or Bangalore stone, that is done by weather. Nobody who has put Kota stone in the open washes it or mops it every day. So here is a misconception which is going to get removed very soon. So let's come back to the R11 glaze. The R11 glaze is a category of glaze which says that if you put R11 glaze on a tile, then you can put that tile from a 19-degree angle to 27-degree angle. So if you don't get it right, please check this tile out. The angle is 90-degree here. So if I draw a line right in the center of it, this is 45-degree. So which means 27-degree is somewhere around here. So from here, if I connect this tile to this point, you get a pretty steep gradient. And this tile is excellent for ramp work, because in earlier, if you wanted to do a grip on the ramp, you'll have to cut those tiles, so slit them into small sizes and then place them one on top of the other, so they form a ribbed format. Now you don't have to do anything of that sort. And now that the government is insisting that every commercial building has to have a ramp, this is the material to go for. It looks clean, it looks chic, but it holds everyone safe. Now another thing which is very common when we talk about the paving tiles is that how much weight does it take? Now how much weight does it take? Let me tell you a figure which might boggle your mind. 75 tons. Yes. If the PCC or the RCC beneath these tiles are strong enough, then these tiles on themselves will bear 75 tons of weight. Now put things into perspective. If you want to know how much does a Kota stone or a Kadapa stone takes the weight, that's roughly 20 to 25 tons. So now you get the point. So these tiles may be expensive for the time being now because they have been just produced, but as the mass market accepts these tiles, the prices are going to tumble, just like it did for the vitronite slab. Keep waiting. Now let's talk about the aesthetic part of these tiles. Now aesthetically, these tiles are in demand for a long time. Customers just didn't know how to articulate it or how to give this feedback to the companies. But somehow Kajaria has managed to get that feedback from the customers. Let me explain you what I'm trying to say here. You come to a tile shop and select the tiles for your interiors, for your rooms, for your bedrooms, for your kitchen, for your bathroom wall, bathroom floor. Sometimes or most of the times this process takes more than a month. Many visits to many dealerships, countless hours spent in selection and discussion with architect, with family, with friends, everybody. But all that is limited to inside of the house. So which means tiles actually mirror your personality, and that's why we take so much effort in selecting the tiles. But then when you select the tiles for the inside of your house, somebody has to walk into your house to see your personality or judge your personality or appreciate your personality. But what about those people who are just passing by your house, and if you could extend your personality into the paving area and they could just look at the paving area and they can form a good image of you, or the image that you want others to see you in. That's where these tiles come into play. Your personality is not only kept in the indoors, but now they can be put into the paving area of your house. Not only do they extend your personality into the paving area, they also give your paving area a completely new finished chic look, which we have so far seen only in European houses or houses in other developing countries like the US and the Japan. Welcome to Duratech X-Stone series. Aesthetically, the customers in India were also bound with interlocking cement tiles. Some of them are of real good quality, no doubt, but then the choices are only as many. You cannot produce the colors which you can produce in a vitrified tile factory in a small factory which prepares those cement tiles. So then now for almost the same amount, you have these shades which are of mind-boggling variety here, which are here, which you can choose from. And that's the color is not the only thing. The next best use of these tiles are going to be when they will be used as the step tiles inside the house and outside of it. Now again, this glaze is so anti-slippery that I can hardly move my hand over this tile. Now these tiles are in perfect size of 60 centimeter by 60 centimeter, 60 by 90 and 60 by 120. Now 60 by 120 is the size which is stipulated by many state governments as the minimum for their step tiles inside commercial buildings. Now all you have to do is just cut this tile into two and you have perfect step tile which will last you a lifetime. And also the fall related incidents will be absolutely nil. Now again, if you come to the smaller size, 90 by 60, now that is the size which most corporations and municipalities stipulate for newly built houses, that their step should be minimum 90 centimeter in length. All you have to do is select one of these tiles, cut them into two, and you have your step tile which matches with absolutely anything that you select for your floor tile. And again, for smaller houses or more small commercial buildings where you are not willing to spend so much and you are willing to put a lot more joints in between, you have this huge collection of 2 by 2 size or 60 by 60 size from which you can take these step tiles cut out. Another aesthetically important thing that we need to know here is that these tiles, the R11 tiles especially, they come the same color in 3 sizes. So which means if you are trying to do something new with your paving area, then you can always get this kind of superb designs on your floor. Here you can see they have used 120 by 60 in landscape mode and 90 by 60 in portrait mode, and equal that they have put 3 60 by 60 square tiles. Now if you see another pattern here which has been done with again all 3 sizes, you have one 120 by 60 put in landscape mode, another 120 60 in portrait mode, there is one square tile there, and equaling these two are 2 90 by 60 tiles. Now these can not only be used on the floor, but these can also be done on the wall as you see right now to get a great looking elevation wall or a great looking boundary wall, whichever suits you. This is such a versatile product. Definitely you should go to your nearest showroom and check it out as early as possible. So when I was speaking about the step tiles, I also realized that I have to mention here one statistic, the statistic of an amount of money which the people around the world spend annually on slip and fall related incidents, and that amount is 2.5 lakh crore rupees. Now all these falls or slips are not happening on the tile, but a significant amount of them could be. We do not know. But even if a fraction of that money is spent on slip and fall related incidents on tiles, they will be definitely prevented in the future while we have X-Stone with us. So keep posted to our channel, get all such new information well ahead of time, and don't forget to subscribe, like and share this video. See you again in another episode. Bye for now.